Okay, we should be live on the scene here. Hopefully everything's good. Okay. Welcome back to another episode of TechWorldTV, and I am joined by Kev from Tech Showdown. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Brian. It's been really fun lately, doing lots of Ryzen 2 showdowns and lots of other things. How about yourself?
Just been busy, man. Busy. All this stuff that has to get reviewed and all the backlog of videos and the promises they're getting fulfilled too. The viewers are loving it. People are loving those 6-core showdowns with the old school Xeon. And I guess every video I'll probably get a little mention of a X5675. Even a YouTuber called Coalition Gaming just tweeted recently on Twitter his video where he picked up an X58 motherboard really cheap, and he got some really good value out of that platform. Recently as well got sent the Ryzen 5 2600 non-X and the non-X 2700. So
Yeah.
keen to put them to the test against the X series. Give you guys a video on the X versus the non-X and go a little bit more in depth and detail and see what really makes it tick. Because someone in the comments did make a valid point. With that lower TDP rating, the 27 might be better in a mini ITX build. So what do you think?
It's definitely cooler running, that's for sure. The 2700 was. Bizarrely, though, my 2700 overclocked better than the 2700X. And Steve had the same thing with his 2600 overclocked better than his 2600X. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but
Get to the bottom of
they
that.
are good. They're very cool running, though. The 2700 and the 2600, boy, they run really cool with an aftermarket, like even just a 120 millimeter air cooler. Very, very cool running.
So possibly better for overclocking.
Yeah, it might be like last generation, I think, in the sense of that there pretty much wasn't anything in it between the X and non-X ones that you would, on average, get about the same overclocking out of them. But there's definitely for the non-overclockers, there's a huge difference between the 2700X and the 2700 at stock speeds.
Yeah.
I mean, your 2700X will hold on all cores about 4 gigahertz most of the time. The 2700 goes down to like 3.45, so that's pretty colossal there. You notice it big time in the productivity.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got here, so we'll roll the intro, and this episode's brought to you guys by Jar Jar Binks. So we'll quickly roll the intro, and then we'll get back to some goodness, because we do have an announcement as well. Both Kev and I will be at an event in a couple of days, so we'll quickly roll the intro for you guys. Okay, so what we got here is IEM Sydney 2018. So it's going to be on, I believe, Friday and Saturday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, so I'm going to be there for Friday and Saturday. So if you guys want to come and say hello, and I'll just be there filming for Intel. So the CSGO, there's a big pro tournament there. It's going to be absolutely crazy because they've set the whole stadium up. It's going to be really good. If you want to get tickets, you still can, I think. You still can get tickets, I believe. So yeah, so there's that. There's also the schedule. So there's a schedule there. I also look forward to doing, maybe on Saturday, we can have lunch with your viewers, my viewers, if they're at IEM Sydney. We can have a cool lunch, get together, be a lot of fun. So that'll be, I'll be flying down there for Friday and Saturday and filming. So look forward to covering this event. It's going to be awesome. I've heard some really good things about these in the past as well. So tickets are still on sale, so secure your seats if you want to. But speaking of Intel, big story we've got up here first. Massive story. Delays to the mass production of 10 nanometer CPUs. So what's your initial thoughts on this? We're going to
Well, it's just they've been on 14 nanometer now since 2014. Like, seriously, how long does it take? The fact that AMD got to 12 nanometer before Intel is unbelievable. That I never would have thought that 4 years ago. But yeah, if it's going to take this long, I just don't know what's going on with Intel right now, because it's like they've just fallen asleep. They really need to wake up, because AMD, as we'll talk about later with the 7 nanometer stuff, they're just going to get left in the dust at this rate. I
Well,
mean, we always
that's
thought like that it's, Intel and AMD, AMD's the underdog. But I think that whole mindset is going to change in the future, not in terms of the market share, because Intel obviously, dominates laptops and servers and other things, but in terms of what's actually better. I mean, right now with my showdowns that I've been doing, it's pretty, it can be very close between Intel and AMD. It's very, competitive now. But I think AMD is going to just start leaving Intel in the dust after they get on 7 nanometer. If they're having this much trouble, Intel, with 10 nanometer, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I spoke to the guys with AMD over in Thailand at the event. Got a lot of information out of them, actually. A very, very good team of people. Their CPU division is on fire. And like people have said, especially with what they're doing, with what R&D they have, man, they've thrown some Hail Marys already. Ryzen was incredible. Ryzen second generation, the Zen Plus, I like it. I think it's a really good improvement. People are saying, oh, it's just a refresh, blah, blah, blah. But it's a solid refresh. At least 1 year later, you're getting something that's improved. And it's got some improvements. And they're giving even better value than the previous generation. So you've got that there. And then you've got now 7 nanometer is on roadmap. And they've already got the samples working, apparently. And they're telling me it's on track. It's on schedule to come out in mass production in 2019. So that's something that enthusiasts have to look forward to. And of course, there's when we look at if we look at a Cinebench score, single-threaded, multi-threaded performance, we're not looking at a big difference now between Intel and of course, there's so much more to just, like, for instance, especially gaming, which I've gone down a rabbit hole and I've found some preliminary findings with gaming and Intel versus AMD, but I'm going to do a lot more research on that before I present the video, because I did make a video, but it just wasn't ready, in my opinion. Like, I have found some very big discrepancies and why I think Intel does better in gaming, especially at lower clock speeds, but I'm going to save that because I got the 1000 FPS camera, baby. I told you I was going down. I told you guys I was going down this tangent, man. There's no coming back. And I was saying in the video, like, I've been infected with Roachitis. Do you know what Roachitis is?
Nah.
Okay, there's a guy, if you Google Roach, input lag, there was a guy on the forums. He's a mystery now. I want to know where he is nowadays. I miss Roach. And he'd just go on about input lag, everything. He could notice, apparently, legend has it, Roach could notice the difference between 1 millisecond and 2 milliseconds.
Wow. Is that right?
That's right. So I've been infected with the same disease. So we're going down that tangent. It's going to be interesting because I don't see anyone else covering it as well. So going to go down that tangent. But when we look at Ryzen the Zen Plus, and then we compare it to their next generation, Ryzen 2, that's going to be huge because we've got 7 nanometer, which is a big drop from 12 and 14.
Yeah.
And so is that going to, I'd say naturally, I would assume that's going to give them an IPC boost. Would it be fair to say at least 5%? So with that, they'll already be ahead of Intel on their current 14 nanometer.
Yeah, it will bring it pretty much like with Ryzen 2 or Zen Plus. It's brought it, I mean, that gave about 3%, 3 to 4% IPC gain. And then obviously the clock speed's getting bumped up has also helped. I think the biggest thing with going to 7 nanometer from everything I've been reading will be the fact that the clock speeds will be the clock speeds are where AMD is kind of getting kneecapped right now a little bit. Things like the 8700K and 8600K, for example, have those long legs, being able to go up to 5 gigahertz, 5.1, 5.2 potentially. And that's where I see the big gain being for AMD going to 7 nanometer. It's not, beyond anything to say that I think the Ryzen 3 or Zen 2 CPUs will be in the neighborhood of 5 gigahertz. That's what I think will be happening. Everything I've been reading leads me to believe AMD is going to be getting up like 4.8, 4.9, 5 gigahertz, hopefully. And I think that's going to be huge. So the IPC gains will be there, but it'll be mainly the clock speed is where they'll really be looking for the big gains, because that's really Intel's only thing they've got over Ryzen still is the clock speed advantage, just 8700K, getting up to 5 gigahertz, 5.1. It's very, very powerful because of that. But if AMD, finally gets over that hurdle of clock speed, then it's going to be huge. But it's going to be very interesting to come out. And it's very impressive by AMD that they went, if they're going to go 14 nanometer, then to 12, then to 7 within 3 years. I mean, Intel's had 4 years to go from 14 to 10, and they haven't managed to do that. So,
yeah. So we can ask chat. I mean, we could go into conspiracy theory right now if you want to. We've got two choices for conspiracy theory. We can go into chromosome 2, or we can go into Intel conspiracy theory. It's your choice. I'm kind of hoping we'll go into chromosome 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, I see.
Well, we can do that later. We'll ask about chat later. What do they want to go into? So this week's conspiracy theory, you guys have two choices. So it's up to you guys.
Yeah, and people were saying that global foundries anticipate there will be 40% improvements going to Zen 2, 7 nanometer, and I would say that's. Yeah, I would probably agree with that. That's maybe on the very, very top end, but you'll see probably 30 to 40, and I think the main chunk of that will be the clock speed advantage there going up quite a bit.
Well, I mean, if they can get a massive clock, if they can legit get 5 gigahertz on 8 cores, 16 threads, that's in itself is going to be a huge gain, plus that node shrink, plus if they can make some even further architectural improvements, we'll be looking at a really solid CPU, possibly beating Intel on all fronts. So
I mean, it's not that impossible. That's the thing. I mean, we had the 9590, and that was 5 gigahertz out of the box. It's just you got to do it without using having a 220 watt TDP.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the thing, that the 5 gigahertz will be achievable. It's just whether or not how much power is it going to be using doing that, and how grunty of a call. I mean, the 9590 was just like a nuclear reactor, so it was like setting VRMs on fire and stuff. So it is very possible, but we got to see power wise.
So there's a big thing now. So they face these delays. Yields aren't good enough. So basically with yields, what this means is they can't get the clock speeds high enough. The actual samples that are coming out from the factory just aren't indicative of what, if they were to mass produce this, how many they could sell with, of course, an improvement over their previous generation. Now, we've already seen this with one CPU from Intel. I believe it was the Broadwell mainstream CPUs. Now, they went in laptops because laptops don't need as high clock speeds. They're more built for power efficiency. But when we look at the enthusiast desktop chips, those Broadwells just got swept under a rug, and that's hence why you saw the Haswell refresh, the 4790K, and they made a big focus on that because they're already Intel's not new to these delays. They've already dealt with them in the past, and so is it possible that maybe their manufacturing node and their way of making these nodes is just not as good as TSMC or the other companies that are getting on their game? I mean, TSMC's apparently got 5 nanometer in production already, like getting ready, the preliminary production. So it's a worry when Intel can't get the gains that the competitors can get. And
yeah,
I mean, going forward, I am concerned because, hey, if Intel falls off, then we're only going to have AMD in the CPU. Like, this is a possibility, of course. We're only theory crafting here. But
no, there's no chance of that happening with their revenue. There's just no way. They're making way too much money off the enterprise systems.
I know, but record revenues and whatnot. But
yeah,
what we've seen with Ryzen versus Intel, at the very least, is incredible competition. And with that, consumers win a lot. 8700K is phenomenal value for money for a high-end enthusiast chip. Same with the Ryzen 7 2700X. You've got absolutely phenomenal value going into consumers' pockets. And I guess that's what's coming out of it. So I want to see Intel get on their game because we know Ryzen's going to be on their game next year. So I really want to see what Intel can pull off. If they can pull off a 10 nanometer, 8 core, 20 threaded chip, 8 core, 16 threaded. Jar Jar, what did you do to me this morning? So if they can get that in the works, then we've got some really good competition set for next year. But of course, with it being delayed, it's actually quite worrisome because even Broadwell E, if you remember Broadwell E, that was not good, man. Like really, Broadwell E was not good in my opinion. It was really nothing over the 5820K. The 6800K was just nothing because the IPC improvement mitigated the clock speed disadvantage. So,
Broadway was better on the higher end, like the 6900K and stuff was very good, but the fact that the 6850K and 6800K, I don't think were what people were expecting. That's for sure. But yeah, it's with that. That was one of the best things they did when they went. The 7900X is still, for if you need a very very powerful CPU, it is extremely powerful. But yeah, those ones are kind of difficult to say. But if they go up to eight core, 16 threads, like the 8900K or whatever it'll be called, something like that, that would be very very good for Intel. But they got to get this heat thing under control, because even an 8700K that's not delitted, which you really shouldn't be having to do delitting if you're paying that much for a CPU anyway.
yeah.
It's just way too hot. I mean, my 8700K is just such a hot CPU. It's very difficult to keep it cool, which is just not an issue with the Ryzen. Even Ryzen 2, the 2700X with its 105 watt TDP, still easier to cool than the 8700K. So, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, this is the new news now. We've got the next article that ties in with all this. On the same date, so then on the 26th of April, they announced to investors on a conference call that they announced that they were having problems with the yields. Brian Kranich announced it. And now on the 26th of April, that same day, they're announcing that Jim Keller is coming over from Tesla to Intel to help on the silicon engineering. That is incredible news, because what we already know with Jim Keller is he is brilliant. Now, some people are out there like, okay, I know I've read some Reddit. I've gone through a little bit of Reddit forums, and like Jim Keller's not the guy who designs all the nooks and crannies in the CPU. He's just the guy who leads the projects. He's a visionary. Yes, he is. And when I spoke to AMD in Thailand, they said he's amazing. He's brilliant because he put together all the talent, gave them the direction they needed to go on, and set them realistic goals, everything, in order to make Ryzen what it was. He did that, and the proof's in the pudding. He did an amazing job. He did a phenomenal job. He pulled AMD out of the the dead zone, put them back onto this, this successful, smooth running train track, and now what we're seeing is just healthy competition. So he's definitely got a lot of experience. He's brilliant. He's talented, and now Intel want that same talent over on their team. And of course, with the massive R&D budget behind them, what is this going to spell?
Yeah, well, this will be it for sure. It's going to be good for Intel, and let's hope that he can come up with something. I'm not really sure. Do you think that Intel needs to change the architecture? Like, is it like with the ring bus? One of the big advantages AMD has is, with the CCX and CCXs and that their Infinity fabric. By design, it's quite good that they can. It's just a very I don't know what the right word. It's just efficient way, a modular way to make CPUs. So, and that's, I think, been part of the problem for Intel. So, do you see them changing that?
Well, they have the mesh architecture already on Skylake X. I think going forward, they'll probably really get Jim Keller on board to fine-tune and tweak the mesh architecture, because I guess that is the future for them. See what they can do with that. But of course, for gaming, the ring bus is so relevant. And this is an interesting thing. If they go mesh on even mainstream, how's that going to pan out for them? Because at least with the research I've got now, I'm not really going to say anything because I don't want people going off and copying my video and all this stuff. I'm going to save it for the video. But yeah, ring bus is fantastic for gaming. That's all I'm going to say, at least with my preliminary findings. And so, I'm going to wait until I gain more evidence, because I really want to make a solid video on it. It will be a hit piece. Because actually, for me, it's fascinating. I don't know, for most people, they wouldn't really care, but I don't know. The channel's never really been about, just appeasing the masses. There's always been a niche channel, Tech Air City, niche audience, people who are open-minded, want to hear new news. So there's that. And, Jim Keller's definitely got the backing behind him, so I think he is going to be capable of turning things around. Well, not even turning things around, but just making Intel putting him on the next level. I mean, he does make it happen. So looking forward to seeing what he does. But of course, I'm looking forward to seeing what Intel does with getting back on track for 2019. That's I guess that's the biggest thing going forward. But yeah, of course, AMD, they have their 7 nanometer ready. We already know this. 7 nanometer ready to go next year. And it's actually a huge drop. They're very impressed with their results that they've sort of been touting behind the scenes. And I guess a lot of enthusiasts are looking forward to this. Plus, they're soldering, they're adding value into the CPU. AMD are really on their game. So Intel really have to step up their game for their next generation. They know this now. They have to. They couldn't be like with Broadwell, they had a pass because what was out at the time? The FX8320, FX8350. I mean, Intel didn't have to do anything. They could just let the 4770K just keep rolling, and sales would have kept rolling. They had the advantage. And so, but now it's a different field. It's a different time. Things are changing up. Things are very different now. So what are you going to see in this market? And that's really, I love it. I love it when you don't know what's going to happen. That's what makes life so fun. You don't know what's going to happen.
I mean, it's quite good right now. The standout thing for me that's interesting is that it looks like AMD is going to be going with TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, when previously they've been mainly going with Global Foundries. So that's interesting change there. But yeah, the 7 nanometer is going to be huge. And I think for all the people that were on Ryzen 1 right now, that were maybe looking at Ryzen 2 and thinking, well, you know, there's a few gains there, but it doesn't really seem that worth it to me, which is probably what I would say. If you're on Ryzen 1 already, I wouldn't really, unless there's a reason why you need to go up to more cores or something, I wouldn't really see a reason to go to Ryzen 2, at least in a, you know, 1-for-1 thing. If you got a 6-core Ryzen 1 going to a 6-core Ryzen 2, it just wouldn't be worth it. You'd be much better off waiting for these 7 nanometer CPUs to come out, because that really will be a huge step, and that'll be a massive upgrade for you. But because they've also committed to staying on the same AM4 platform, AM4 Plus platform, I think, you know, it's going to make it slightly more difficult for them in terms of how crazy they can go, especially with how much power the CPUs are going to use. If people are going to be wanting to chuck them, say, in an X470 at the time, I mean, it could be a good sign, though, with the X470s, the 2 I've had a look at so far, and a lot of the other ones, they seem to be really overkill in terms of the VRM and also CPU power. You're seeing most of them come with like an 8-pin or 4-pin, some of them coming with dual 8-pin CPU power connectors, which is overkill for what it is right now, unless you're going crazy with overclocking. But that may be because they've got something, you know, crazy in the future with 7 nanometer, and this is just in preparation for that. So it's overkill for the current generation, but when those ones come out, when Ryzen 3 comes out, that might be necessary. So that could be one of the reasons they've done that. That's just a theory of mine. It's nothing I've heard from AMD or anything, but just that's kind of like been my thinking, because a lot of these X470 motherboards, the ones I've had a look at anyway, are really overkill for, you know, like even a 2700X, unless you're trying to like take that thing to the moon with LN2 or something. It's just really overkill.
Well, that's what people do. I mean, that's essentially, they do take it to the moon with LN2. So I think a lot of them are fighting for that bragging, right? Because, hey, like for instance, I know for a fact the Zeus motherboards, they're practically used by every professional overclocker, especially in tournaments. When I went to the tournament for Galax in Thailand, everyone had a Zeus motherboard. Like, I think someone had a backup Gigabyte board. That was only one person. There was just no MSI or ASRock boards there to be found. So I guess when that speaks lengths for all the professional overclockers, that trickles down into the enthusiast sector, whether it be water or air overclocker enthusiasts. So, I mean, I think with this time around, if you've got guys who've got 4+8 pin CPU connectors on their motherboards, it says a statement, hey, we're the best, sort of thing. And if the competitor's not doing it, they're going to lose sales, man, naturally. Like we looked at the M.2 heat sinks, for example, they're bringing them out and they're working. I mean, MSI previously released an M.2 shield, which was useless, actually increased the temperatures.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't even know, I haven't even seen one of their motherboards. Have you got an X470 MSI motherboard?
Yeah, I got the Gaming Pro Carbon, and I've also tested the one you got, the Aorus Gaming 7.
Okay, which one did you like better?
I've only briefly been using the MSI, but I'd say, I don't know, they're about the same to me, really. There's not a huge difference. I mean, as far as power connectors go, the MSI is dual 8 pins, where the Gigabyte was 8 pin, 4 pin. But it didn't really matter because I just use a single 8 pin anyway, and that just isn't a problem. It's too overkill.
Well, I think even
both.
the standard rating for an 8 pin's like 230 watts, isn't it? That's like the standard rating.
Yeah,
so you can chuck a lot more power through that as well. With a good power supply, good connectors.
Well, you have the 8700K as well, and so do I, and that's on our Z370s, and that's usually through a single 8 pin. And once you overclock that thing up to like 5 gigahertz, 5.1, 5.2, you're drawing a lot of power then. So
yeah, but it's still well under an 8 pin, well under that.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, still under, but it does draw quite a bit. So, but the other thing that they could be doing is because they've only released up to the 2700X. I mean, there's no, it's not confirmed that that's going to be the highest for right now for Ryzen 2. AMD could just be sitting on their hands. Maybe in the future 6 months. I don't think this will be the case, but it could be the case. And they release a 10-core, Ryzen 2 CPU, like the 2800X or something like that. And that could also be the reason why that the motherboards are quite overkill, because they have plans to maybe go up a bit higher than that. They don't need to just stay to 8-core on the mainstream. But I don't see that being the case, because then it starts eating into their Threadripper territory, which they obviously want good sales on that because they make quite good money on the Threadripper stuff. So
yeah, but people
I don't think that'll be the case.
People have said they could be planning a 6-core 12-thread on. I mean, sorry, where am I going with this? 12-core, 24-thread on 7 nanometer for mainstream. That's a possibility if they redesign the CCX modules for the 7 nanometer.
Yeah, so it could be possible, but that would be pretty wild for the mainstream. I mean, the other thing people often forget, it's not just about the core count. When you go up to the enthusiast platform, which will be, say, X499 when that comes out, or X399, which is currently what's out with Threadripper, there's all the other platform differences that people buy them for, the workstation stuff like the PCIe lanes, just the quad channel memory, and lots of other things. It's not just about the core count, but it's so there's a lot of things there as well. But I don't think they'll go up beyond 8-core for Ryzen 2, but I see it probably being the case with Ryzen 3 that they may go up a bit higher than that. We'll just have to see. I think mainly the 7 nanometer stuff that will surprise everyone will be the clock speeds, and that'll be the nail in the coffin for Intel, unless they can get something out, an 8-core on the mainstream platform that can also do 5 gigahertz. But the CPUs are going to get crazy, man. Like it's already getting crazy, and it's just going to get more crazy. Like, think how stale it was even 3 years ago, like even 2.5 years ago, man. It was so stale, and now it's just crazy. It's like we got too many choices.
Oh, it's great. Like, I love competition. It makes things exciting.
Yeah, it's good.
But we got here next on the rumor mill, Intel retires the Kaby Lake X processors. I mean, I don't know what I clicked on the link to try and take me to Intel's site, but does this look like a fake news story? Because it says it's launched. It doesn't say discontinued. Like, they're saying it's discontinued or end of life. But when we look at an X5675, which we know is discontinued, we look at these 2 pages. I mean, they're still there. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out where it says it's end of life already. So
you might not have updated it yet, because another site had said that they were retiring the Kaby Lake X's as well.
Yeah, so I mean, ultimately though, like when we look at it, right, yes, the Kaby Lake X CPUs were bad. I mean, I'm sure.
Oh, it's a disaster. What a disaster.
The only person I see buying one of those was just someone who wanted to have a bit of fun, and I don't even know, man. I don't even know who would bought this CPU. Like,
no one.
Wasn't it? There was motherboard problems as well, where like you couldn't even use some of the RAM slots or something, or if you did, it
Yeah,
was crashing
they're
out.
only
Or
limited to dual. So on your X299, you could only use dual channel memory with them. It basically negated all the benefits of the Enthusiast platform or X299. You couldn't use quad channel memory. They didn't have all the crazy lanes. There's, they're just stupid. Like, it made no sense. The motherboards cost way more than the CPUs, which is never a good
whoa, we got
situation.
100 euro donation. Whoa. Read that in chat. That's huge. Thanks, dude.
Is
That's a
that
massive.
euro?
That's a massive donation. I know that was huge. Whoa.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh, it's rupee, man.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Indian.
Oh yeah, I don't
100
know. I was like,
rupees.
okay, so he bought. Oh, Ruby's awesome. So, well, hey, dude, I do plan to go to India. So, Ashk says I bought two GTX 1080 Ti's. And sorry, for 200 AUD. It was a gigabyte water force. I even checked it by opening the CPU in a real deal. Search next Q in chat. Okay, I'll check that out later. But if you got two 1080 Ti's for 200 Australian dollars, man, that's a really good deal.
They
Like,
give me a wind force, but yeah, that is probably the deal of a century if you got two 1080 Ti's.
I don't know who would have sold you that, man, but
Yeah,
you
jeez.
you should be yeah, definitely, yeah, that's an insane deal. I mean, if it works, or is he just talking about the water coolers themselves? I'm guessing he'd be just talking about the water coolers, because I just don't know anyone who would sell a 1080 Ti for
Not even a
200 bucks.
single one for a 200, let alone two of them.
Yeah.
Unless, yeah, Jesus. Oh.
Oh, I was like, oh, I'm a bit down now. I was hoping that was 100 euro, man. I was like, damn, I'm gonna get cashed up today.
Yeah.
Because there's some good deals on at the moment. Like, I'm only making a video about eBay deals and all that stuff, because I got some really good deals in the pipe work. So I'm gonna say that for a video. Probably release it tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, the whole market is shifting, and I love it. Like, new parts is so awesome, and everyone who loves used parts, of course, they love new parts, and they hope that new parts get more competitive, because when they do, we see things like lower prices on the used segment. So anyway, this story here, kind of like a bit of a, I don't know, at the moment. I'm not really going to say if they've end of lifed it, but it still says it's launched on the website, so who knows. I don't know what this site is doing here. So revenues for Samsung, Hynix, and Micron doubled between Q1 2016 and Q3 2017, with a 47% increase in 2017. So what we're looking at here is price fixing, and they say they've got proof. So there's a class action lawsuit now going on in the US. And since these guys control apparently 96 to 98% of the global DRAM market, it's absolutely stupid how much they control. So we've got an oligopoly, is it? Oligopoly. And it looks like it's controlled by Hynix, Samsung, and Micron. And they've all agreed to price fix. So, and it looks legit, right? When you look at those prices of DRAM, man, they're way too expensive. Absolutely absurd, the prices of DDR4 memory.
Yeah, it's shocking. Samsung's been in trouble for this before, so it's not really that surprising. But I don't think anybody's shocked by the fact that they're making record profits and the fact that they're price fixing. I don't think a single person is shocked by that.
No, exactly. So the good thing is you've already seen RAM prices are coming down a little bit. Like, I saw a RAM kit up on Amazon for like $80 for 8 gigabytes. So the premium isn't a whole lot. I mean, we got here $70, I think it was. So 16 gigabyte memory kit sold for $70. Well, actually, that's insanely good value for money. But you see that now, it's like, yeah, $170. So the difference between memory pricing has just gone stupid. It's not even like, I could understand, like, this is the thing. With memory, I could understand if they were just going in for a little, a little sneak, a little chunk. You know what I mean? You just up at like a 10 or $15 here and there, and you make up some excuse. But going over the top and over double the prices, what you don't expect to get a class action lawsuit? Like, come on. You don't expect the companies that are especially purchasing like thousands of sticks of memory, you don't expect them to be livid over this?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the average consumer, it's like, hey, we're paying like an extra 30, 40, $50. We can't do anything. It's not even worth our time to go see a solicitor over $50. But there are companies out there that will say, hey, this is absolute BS. Let's go to town on Micron, Samsung, and good old Hynix and see what they can cough up for us. And so I hope these companies do cough up big time, because this is, I mean, people ramp on about GPP and stuff. This is mild. This is in another park compared to GPP. This is this is really affecting consumers besides a gaming logo or something. So this is just terrible. It's disgusting, really. So I mean, let us know in the comments what you think about this price fixing. It's horrible, and it shouldn't be happening in 2018, especially with the laws in place. I hope they really get a big one for this. They really cop it hard. So,
yeah, I think they will. I mean, I would say so.
Coalition. He said, "Sup, Teddy? How is Teddy anyway, man?"
Yeah, he's been good. He's just been partying a bit hard lately, eh?
Is he coming to Sydney?
Probably not.
Aww.
I think people would find me.
Dude, Teddy's got to come to Sydney, man. Come on, bring him to Sydney.
Yeah, I'll see.
He's got feelings
he might
too,
come
bro.
to Computex. Bring him all the way to Taiwan.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. How long are you in Computex for, by the way?
I don't know yet. I've still got to work out. So I've still got to work out with the with who wants booth coverage and whatnot. So it looks like,
cool.
Yeah, it looks like I'll be. Thanks, Ashay. Ash, he's donating more, man. Cheers. And so it looks like at the moment I've got a few different, like Corsair, of course, are number one. They're getting like Corsair are amazing to work with. So I've lined them up booth coverage and stuff. So lining up, I've actually in the midst of bartering with companies instead of charging a 4K video production fee or something for their booth. I just said, look, I'll cover your booth for some DDR4 memory. And one company's already agreed. And I'm like, woohoo! So just bartering DDR4 memory for booth coverage, man. It's the way to go.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'll try to bring you over some parts if I can when I see you at IEM, but we'll see how I go. Yeah,
Dude.
I mean, I've never been to Computex before, so it'll be exciting for me to be able to check it out.
DDR4 memory it's a currency now. That's what it is.
Yeah, I've got 2 lots of 2 16 gigabyte DDR3 kits, which I just have no use for, and then I've got 2 spare lots of DDR4. This is Corsair Dominator Platinum, the real premium stuff, and I've also got a HyperX kit somewhere as well, some DDR4, another 16 gigabyte kit. So I've been fortunate in that I actually stocked up on it a lot before, so I've been completely unaffected by the
pull up here,
price increase.
Yeah, I mean we've got sticks coming down at $83 again. I think that's the cheapest I've seen DDR4 in a while, especially 8 gig kits. They're very popular. So there you go, like $83 for a kit of RAM. It's not too bad. The speeds are pretty good as well. I do remember, like, this is crazy, right? I remember it when I was in the States in 2016, near the end of 2016. I remember I picked that, like, that 32 gig kit of DDR4 memory for like 115 US. Like, that's how cheap DDR4 memory used to be. That's how cheap it used to be. So if they can make a profit selling it at that price, imagine selling a 32 gigabyte kit of memory for $330. It's like just pure profit in the back pocket. The amount of money they've made off these kits is absolutely insane. So this is like, this is the biggest one so far. I mean, I hope these prices come down more, and I hope we can get some normal DDR. Even if it's like, again, even I said, you go in for those little snipes, even if it's $10, $20 above average, whatever. I'm sure a lot of people don't care, but it's when you start really gouging and going for those, massive greedy plays, that's when people start to get really ticked off. So anyway, that's about it for this week's articles, guys. We're going to move over to chat now, see what's cracking in the live stream chat. And if you guys have some questions for either Tech Showdown, Mr. Kev, or myself, then go ahead in the comments section. Now, also, both Kev and I will be again. We'll say we will be at IEM Sydney. So if you guys are in Sydney,
I'll be there all 3 days, guys. So I'll be there on the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday. Although I'm not sure if I'll be. I may be only at the event briefly on the Friday. I'll just have to see how my agenda goes.
Okay, so sorry, Alonjo. Yeah, I will, man. I did see you send a message on the forums. I've got your email. I'll contact you directly after the show finishes. Sorry about that. We'll get some live chat viewer as well. So we'll bring up the live chat. Actually live. So there. Okay. Cool. So now we can ask, how's your sex appeal since the glass? Okay, so Sean asks, how's my... I don't know, man. I haven't been out in the wild. I haven't actually gone out on the town with the glasses on yet, brother. So I can't find out if it's given out the sex appeal or not. So, yeah, there's that. But apparently people saying I look younger. Do I look younger with the glasses? Like someone said, dude, you like got vampire's blood or something. That was a funny comment. You know, you should just look younger with the glasses on. Look, in coming months, when I'm on top, like when I'm 100% on top of my health game, when the backlogs are all cleared, this super busy season gets through, I'll be making the Tech Yes City guide to 110% health and glory and victory. Would you guys like to see that? Like how you can be a healthy hermit. You know what I mean? Healthy hermit. Play video games 8 hours a day, eat bad food, but still be fit.
Yeah, man, that's good. I mean, I think a lot of people have always liked there's been other ones, you know, the fit gamer type thing.
Yeah.
You see it with some of the CS guys, especially.
Okay. Well, the biggest thing is to cut bread out of your diet, like flour, especially like white bread. That's the biggest one. If you're just eating white bread, that is so bad for you. Apparently, there was a kid who ate nothing but chips and white bread. And you know the funny thing is, this kid went blind or something like that. I read this news article. I was shocked. Went blind, bro. So what you eat is so important. Of course, don't eat crap fast food. Don't go out eating. I'm not going to name any names. I don't want to get any trouble. But when you go out, like I eat sushi. If I go out, I'll eat this sushi down the takeaway center, salmon, avocado, rice, healthy as, and it's still fast food. So there's so many good options out there nowadays. Drink water, drink cups of tea. I don't drink Coke. I don't drink whatever, you know, Fantas and all that stuff. Sugar's a killer too. So you just stay on the game. You're gonna be hyped up. There's some other supplements I take as well. The guide will come out, and you guys hopefully should love it, man. You know, it'll change your life. It'll change your life. That's what it'll do for you. So, yeah. Okay, so yeah, chips and white bread. So that's what I mean. People are like, guys, no chips and white bread. So cut that out. I mean, potato chips are okay baked in the oven, like, but so. And
try an Indian accent for used parts, huh?
Pizza and beer. I mean, pizza and beer is fun. So, yeah. Like when you wake up, should be drinking, like get a blender, put a banana, apple, all that stuff, mix it up, fruit smoothie, bang, there's your breakfast. Supercharge your day. So, what happened to Tech Deals as well? Tech Deals is hiatus this week. He has a lot of work to do. He just got signed up on Floatplane with Linus Tech Tips. So that was a huge thing for him. So he's just super busy. And again, I can't eat into his schedule. It's up to him. I've been thankful that he's came on the last 2 weeks as well before this. But of course, we've got IEM as well. Kev and I, both got to go to Sydney for IEM. And Jack as well. Jack's a patron. He said, man, you've got to stream. It's his birthday today. So happy birthday, Jack. So yeah, anyway. No, he didn't. I mean, Techers didn't sell out to LTT. I mean, at the end of the day, like with all the sponsors and stuff like that, as long as you can do whatever you want on your channel, put in sponsors, take sponsored deals. But when you put review in the title of your video, if you're putting review in the title of your video, as long as you're doing a review, I got no quarrels with your channel. You know what I mean? But if you put a showcase as a review, then that's a different story. So, you know, you put it like my product reviews are always going to be product reviews. I'm going to say, look, is this product bad or is it good? Would I go out and buy this thing? That's a product review. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
if you're passing off a bad product as a good product, then that's just terrible. It shouldn't happen. So I don't know, Tech Deals, he hasn't done that once. I've watched a lot of his videos. He hasn't passed off any bad products as good products. So he's not a sellout. So I don't know. But in terms, I mean, what's your opinion on that? What's your opinion? Let's go.
I don't think he's a sellout at all.
Okay.
No, he seems pretty. I mean, he does very long form reviews, which his fans really love. So good on him. And you know, I think he goes into incredible amounts of detail. So for the people that are wanting they're quite long, detailed reviews, he's definitely, that's his bread and butter, and that's what he likes to do. And I haven't watched any of his reviews that I thought seemed biased or anything. He just tells it how it is.
And I mean, that's the thing, right? We're all going to have different opinions on products.
Yeah.
But as long as it's your opinion based on your personality. I mean, I guess that's a stupid thing to say because your personality could be a sellout. But I mean, as long as it's you doing the review and your viewers will know it. I mean, Yeah, man, sellouts have come and gone. Sellouts that do, they come and go, man, and their channels die, like dead in the water. So,
I think, yeah, you can usually, because like let's take Ryzen 2 for example. We all did reviews on it. We test different games. We do different, ways of testing. So we're always going to get slightly different results. But if you watch, say, 10 Ryzen 2700X reviews, and you should get the general idea from all of them. They should all be telling you similar things for the most part. If the reviewers are good, obviously they'll all have differences of opinions in some areas, but more or less they'll all point you in the same direction. But if you have someone that just goes in completely the other direction, unless there's something they know that you don't,
yeah.
then that's when you can maybe look into it. But
And
that's the thing you should really just be looking for.
Yeah, and that's another reason I don't go too much into this. Like, there's all the Nvidia GPP and all these like stories, but I just like now I've realized for me, look, when it comes to AMD, Intel, and Nvidia, as long as they're not doing this price fixing crap, that is terrible. This DDR4 price fixing is horrible. It's really affecting consumers. I don't know about GBP. I haven't really bothered looking at it because it doesn't. Of course, it's affecting consumer choice, but it's not affecting your wallet at the end of the day, I don't think. So I haven't bought into the hype. A lot of people have just covered it and bashed Nvidia to death. But when it comes down to it, man, I'm only interested really in reviewing Intel, AMD, and Nvidia's products and how they apply to my audience. At the end of the day, if Nvidia's CEO has, whatever, if he's doing all this crazy stuff in his personal life, it's got nothing to do with me. If he's delivering a phenomenal product at the end of the day, then that's all I want to review. Or if he's delivering a crap product, I want to tell people to stay away from it. So I think they were doing something. I might actually take a look at that. Weren't they doing something dodgy with the GT 1030 though?
Yeah, there was something to do with it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think what you're saying is what most tech reviewers are. I think a lot of you guys think that a lot of the viewers, or some of the viewers, think that, oh, we're in bed with certain companies. But honestly, we don't. We out of all the tech reviewers I speak to and are friends with, we all don't really care about the companies beyond the products. Like Intel, AMD,
man.
we really they're just a company. We test the products, and if the products are cool, then we give them a good review. If we don't like them, then we give them a bad review. But it's not like it's anything beyond that. We just sort of want to see good products because, as much as we like reviewing them, we like running this stuff ourselves as well. We like powerful CPUs and GPUs just like you guys do. Yeah. So when they bring out something cool, we're just like, sweet, put it in the personal rig or something. But that's what it comes down to a lot of the time. And it's nothing really beyond that in my experience.
That's what I mean, dude. I wouldn't be if someone said do this sellout route, I wouldn't do YouTube, man. I'd be working just a normal everyday 24/7, like whatever. I'd just be working something normal IRL because I couldn't sleep at night. It's just when you're selling out, misleading people, it's disgusting, man. You gotta put yourself in other people's shoes. And
it's I think as long as you're getting the comments that like I do that are 50-50, so I get some that say, oh, Kevin, you're so biased towards Intel, and then I get some that say, oh, you're so biased towards AMD. So as long as it's 50-50,
you're always going to call that, man. You're always going to call that. People are like, oh, your game's like, in my CPUs reviews, I got like a couple of comments, oh, your game choice is questionable. It's like, well, tell me the game. I asked what games do you want tested, I didn't see one Far Cry 5. People that test Far Cry 5, apparently it's better on AMD CPUs. I've actually got it right now. I went and bought it. So I'll be putting it in some future reviews. But I test, when it comes down to a CPU review, I test first and foremost competitive multiplayer titles because that's where a CPU is really going to make a difference. Even if it's a small difference, a difference is still a difference. Testing a game like Witcher 3, I don't even know. I have a copy of Witcher 3. It's just buried in some other platform like G-Man Games or something. And I don't bother testing that game because I can't. A, it's too much of a hassle to install on my computer. It's not on Steam. I wish I got it on Steam. B, it's like, does anyone play that competitively? Like, is there a competitive following behind it?
Yeah.
So when it comes down to competitive games, I straight away think of Fortnite, PUBG. You've got CS:GO, Dota 2. These are the games where people need that edge, that bleeding level edge if they're in a tournament and whatnot. So they're the games that are going to get priority in the CPU reviews. So, and that's just how I test mainly. That's the first focus. Of course, I'll test some later titles as well, but GTA 5 as well is still very popular. I think the online presence of that game is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, I've been testing that as well. Still test that. So there's sort of like the workings. Maybe if you guys want to see a behind the scenes, sort of how I benchmark and how I do things, I can maybe release that video. Get asked a lot about sort of the behind the scenes stuff. How do you keep the channel going? How do you keep it alive? So
Rainbow Six Siege, that's a good one. I've kept that in my testing for since the game launched. I've just kept it in there because everyone loves it. That I keep benchmarking it. But yeah, you're exactly right. And I think the other thing is that a lot of viewers see it as, if you do a advertisement in a video for something completely unrelated to tech, say it's for I don't know, whatever type of service, a browser extension or whatever, a website that's got nothing to do with tech. I mean, we do that, guys, or for a mobile game is quite common now. You do that because it helps support the channel for one, but also getting that money means that we can get better equipment. Sometimes we need to buy the products because companies won't send them to us, or, you know, whatever, it's difficult to get them. So all that really helps with the channel. And if it's got nothing to do with tech, then what's the problem there? I just don't see it being an issue at all. And I think that's with, you know, the advertisement issues on YouTube with demonetization and that. I think that's going to be a more regular thing you're going to see, and it doesn't really hurt anybody, so I don't see an issue with it at all. You may not like the game, you may not be interested in it or whatever. If it's a mobile game, I saw that a lot on one of Steve's videos, but you know, whatever, no one's forcing you to do anything, and it's helpful for the channel. So I think that's all it comes down to at the end of the day is that
I'm still using the eBay chair. This is just for the stream. And, man, this chair's good. Like all the chairs I've reviewed, all the chairs I've talked about, they're all good. I like the eBay chairs. Easily the best value for money. The eBay chair's still kicking hard. Yeah. So you've got a gaming chair. I mean, how you like your gaming
my
chair?
AK Racing one.
Okay.
Yeah,
AK
I've had this
Racing.
for like 2 years.
Yeah. AK Racing. Never heard of that one.
Yeah, there were because I did the DX Racer chair differences video, which got crazy views. It's my most popular video. It's like 900,000, 800 something thousand views now. It's crazy. I was like, whoa. And it wasn't even my idea to do the video. So then AK Racing asked me to do it, and then I got to try both of the chairs out, the DX Racer and AK Racing. I decided to go with this one, but but no, it's nice, man. They're good chairs.
Stuff, hey. Gaming. Does it make you like FPS go up and stuff?
Yeah, man, through the roof.
Okay, there you go.
I know. So the only problem is my cat Frank. He keeps tearing up. It's like the fake leather on it, and he keeps jumping on it with his claws out, and then it puts big holes in the seat.
Okay, all right,
which is annoying.
Take a few more questions from chat. What's price for your internet connection? Okay, so I'm paying like $80 a month, 50 down, 20 up, unlimited downloads. So it's actually been really good so far. Haven't had one hiccup with this internet provider. I'd rather not say the names. I don't want people jumping on the internet provider that I'm on and then clogging up the bandwidth.
That's still expensive, man, for what you're getting there.
It's miles better than what I used to have. I used to have 10 down, 1 up, and I was paying like over $100 for it a month. It was disgusting, but
jeez,
hey, I'm happy with 80 a month, man. I'm happy with 80 a month. Yeah, I get unlimited downloads, unlimited uploads. Really happy with it. So that's my internet connection at the moment. We'll take a few more questions as well. GTX 970 for 140 USD. Yeah, it's decent. It's about around my max threshold I'd pay for a 970, providing it's a decent model. If it was a reference model, I'd probably stay clear of it personally. I'd want something like a Gigabyte G1 970. But yeah, 970 around that price. I'd probably say, hey, would you take, just slap a little bit off. If he's asking 140, you probably get it down for about 120. That's probably what he's hoping for. And he's got $100 in the wallet, $20 to go out and get dinner. That's probably his thinking behind that guy selling the 970. Hey Brian, do you have any experience with AliExpress disputes? I actually do have one, I think. And I did get refunded the money. So it was this AliExpress are really good with their dispute process. So if you have a problem, you put it in and you'll get fixed up straight away. Can Kingston value RAM be overclockable? If you want to answer some of these questions too, Kev, you can go for it. But can Kingston value RAM be overclocked? Yeah, of course. Any RAM can be overclocked on an overclockable motherboard that doesn't have a limit. Best budget cooler to take an X5672, 4.5 gigahertz. This is tricky because, of course, you've got different variances in your Xeons. Some Xeons, like the X5675, goes up to 4.5 gigahertz. I'd say a lot of those chips do. As terms of a cooler, you're going to want to get a really good cooler. Now, budget coolers, the VTG5, I actually have to test it because I think I got 4.4 gigahertz on the VTG5 before. That's a really good value cooler. I've got if you're in Australia, the Cooler Master 620p is really good value for money. 70 Australian dollars, which would be like 50 USD, but it's a twin tower, 2 fans. You've even got the RGB bling, and it was putting out some impressive numbers too. That's a really good cooler in Australia. I asked Cooler Master, I'm like, why aren't you selling this in America for $50? Be an absolute hit. So I'm waiting on their response for that. But that cooler is actually really good value for money too. I'd be going for that because, of course, you've got the upgradability, you've got AM4 support, or whatever platform that comes out. You probably have support for it with that Cooler Master kit. So best recommendations for a budget MATX case would be the Cooler Master Lite 3.1 as well. That's just out off the top of my head. What about you, Kev?
Oh, I'm just shocked at these internet prices, bro. These guys in the States are getting... This is just sort of unbelievable, people paying how much they do for what they get. It's shocking. Okay. I pay $200 a month for 30 down.
I know. We're going to have to go through question round robin. I'm losing it every now. Okay, 980 Ti price. Off the top of my head, you'd pay about 250 USD. That'd be around about what you want to get one for. Max 300 USD. Question round. There's just so many questions that came in and I lost them. Okay, yeah, Deepcool Gamax 400 for 16 US dollars. 16 US dollars is a really good deal. Grab that because it's a really good cooler for a budget outfit. 4 cores, 8 threads, especially an X40 3470. That CPU and that cooler is a perfect combination on a budget. Even an X3440 with a H55 motherboard. You get 500 up and 500 down. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I know that, dude. That's really good. Ash K, you're flexing, brother. You're flexing in the comments. 75 US for 20 down. See, that's pretty bad. $469 for Ryzen 2700X at PC case gear. I don't know. I haven't really checked prices in Australia at the moment. It seems a little bit overpriced off the top of my head for the 2700X. What mid-tower case would you recommend? Don't mind price too much. Air 540. Air 540 any day of the week. Corsair Air 540 is like it. You know the white case? It looks so nice too. They've got the white fans on it. Bang, out of the box, bling bling, airflow to go. Absolute breeze to install stuff in. That's the case to go for. If anyone wants to argue with me about the Air 540, let's do it. Okay, Tech Showdown per month or per year? What's this for? I don't know, man.
I was saying the internet here now, you can get 1,000 down, 500 up for 130 New Zealand dollars.
Yep.
So that's pretty
okay. You got
good
internet
compared to these guys.
X50X, FXFX, X58i. Have you tried this? Nope. Don't want to try it either. I generally stick, especially in the X58 era. I'd be going, if you can go for an Asus board, go for an Asus board. ASRock boards weren't too bad. Gigabyte boards weren't too bad. MSI boards, X58, really hit and miss. Especially their lower end boards. They just weren't equipped, in my opinion, to run the 6-core 12 threads. Like the Pro and stuff like that. How much would you pay for a Ryzen 1600? Oh, now, like Tech Deals said last week, I'd probably pay 130 US dollars for one. And dude, we do per month. There's no Ashk. Akshay, it's per month, brother, per month. We always do per month. Don't do per year for internet. 2600X better price to performance than 2700X. Once you factor in all your PC costs, all your power supply, everything like that, I'd go with the 2700X, especially when you get the cooler in it. You can sell the cooler, make a bit of bang back. i5 is 200 US for a 5930K. It's actually a pretty decent price, yes. X99 boards will be on sale pretty cheap. Problem is DDR4 memory, always expensive. I'd be hunting the DDR4 memory. And the CPU, pick up the CPU. CPU's a good price, but of course you got to find the other two variants for a pretty good price too. Brian keeps skipping my question. I'll catch it, man. Let me know your question. What do you think of the 4960X? Yeah, really nice CPU. It depends on how much you can pick it up for. Every 4770K for 120 US. Yeah, that's a pretty decent deal. I'd go for 110 US. Just a little snipe off the top, man. $10 in your back pocket. Always better than no money in your back pocket. Okay, so there we go. Question round robin. I'll wait for the last question as well. He said I keep skipping his question. Give me your question and I won't skip it this time. RJ Ray. And then we'll wind up the show after that. And we'll get these other questions. Have we met in real life before, Kev? No, we haven't. We're going to meet in IEM for the first time IRL. It's going to be fun. There's going to be fireworks, isn't there, Kev? There's going to be chemistry, isn't there? Teddy, you and me. I only can imagine what could happen. Give a shout out to your viewers in the Philippines. This is Joe, by the way. Okay, yeah. Viewers in the Philippines. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you all. Can't wait to do a part-time in the Philippines, too. I just hope Destiny brings me there one day. Can I run the 7700K on a Z370? Oh, I haven't tried that. That's actually a good question. But I don't think you can.
Yeah, you can, can't you?
I don't think you can. So. I think the pin layout was different, wasn't it? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that might have been the case.
Okay.
I can't actually remember now.
Okay, RJ Ray, you got to tell me what Asus Rampage motherboard it is. Is it a Rampage 3, what, like 4th generation, 3rd generation, X58, X79? Let me know. Kev is going to be all shaven. And, oh, yeah, you got no beard, dude. You used to have like a big beard on you. Conor McGregor or something.
No, I shaved it before I go to Aussie because it'll be too hot otherwise.
Yeah. I do. It's like getting cold now. It's really good at the moment. The weather's perfect, man. The weather's absolutely perfect. Okay, so, sorry, question round robin's going. Picked up a Quadro 600 and an E3 1230 for 80. Yes, very good deal. That CPU is amazing. 4 cores, 8 threads. Really good power consumption too. X58 board, Rampage 3. That's actually, I mean, in mint condition, I think people are selling them for as high as $300, man. You probably sell that for $200 easy and snap it up and get money for it instantly. So, yeah okay. The Rampage 3
you can't use the 7700K, by the way, with the Z370. You're right.
Okay.
It's not compatible.
Okay, Rampage 3 only came... Yeah, sorry, I look at Rampage... I didn't follow the Rampage series a whole lot, so I just... When you say X58 Rampage 3, I think I've got one here, but it's missing the heat sinks. Okay, which the Xeons... Okay. My X5650 only hits 3.4 gigahertz. What? I can't believe that. Send that X5650 over to me. I'll get that thing to at least 4.2, man. I can't believe it'll go to 3.4. That does not make any sense unless it's been abused and it's on its way out. Like, unless it's like literally on the verge of death. Selling a PC with an i5 2500 4GB RAM, 1030 price. Put another 4GB of RAM if you can. No one will really want to buy it with 4GB of RAM. 1030 will sell that PC to someone who wants to play Fortnite. I'd charge around maybe 300 US if you can get that. Anyway, I have a 5690 coming in mail. I paid 90 USD. Yeah, it's awesome, man. So, whew, okay, what to do? There we go. Question round robin, guys. If you got questions, I'll be in chat as well. I'll stick around in chat after we close out the stream. And yeah, because I got to get ready to go to IEM Sydney as well. Got to record another video. I've tested the RX 580 from ASRock too, and it's pretty good. That's going to be a good review, man. That's going to be a good review because ASRock, there's a lot ASRock's, there's a few little improvements, of course. They haven't just made it perfect, but they got the formula right. I mean, they're ready to step in for the 6th generation. And when people ask, like, oh, it was like some people ask, like, why did ASRock release RX 580? Why would they do it so late in the cycle? I think it's a brilliant choice because they can get all the feedback and then make their 6 series launch perfect. I think that's what's going to come out of the 5 series launch. And I like what they're doing. The graphics card performs really well. A few little things I'd like to see added to it, but other than that, it's a nice card. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to be joining you in chat. And also, Kev, the link to his channel's in the description below if you want to go check out Tech Showdown. Thanks for joining us. If you are in Sydney, dude, that keyboard's obnoxiously loud. If you want to, if you want to go to, if you're in Sydney or if you're coming to IEM, hopefully we can see you there. I'll be there Friday and Saturday filming and getting a vlog done as well. It's going to be awesome. And hopefully if you guys, if you want to stay up to date, follow us on Twitter /TechYesCity. I'll be announcing a lunch on Saturday. So it won't be at the venue. So if you don't want to buy tickets, but you just want to meet up, then definitely just follow us on Twitter. Be around lunchtime and we'll just go meet up all the viewers. We can have a lunch in Sydney. Be awesome. Have a bit of fun. Man. So yeah, stay tuned on Twitter. Is there any closing things you want to say, Kev, before we jump on out of here?
No, man, that'll be great. I look forward to hanging out with you in a few days at IEM, and yeah, let's have fun. Let's do a lunch or something. Hopefully, I'll try my best to join you guys.
Okay.
It'll be really good.
All praise Jar Jar. Jar Jar.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much, Jar Jar, for
Are
being
you bringing Jar Jar to Sydney?
Nah, not a mug, bro. That'll be the death of Jar Jar. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to join you guys in comments as well, just answering some questions. So if you've got dying questions, I'll be there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love you all, and catch you in the next week. Peace out for now. Do you want to say the peace out for now, bye?
Peace out for now, guys. See you next time.